Hello, welcome to the 4th floor of the the American Museum of Natural History here in New York. We're gonna start off by looking at some of these specimens that have been uncovered almost 100 years ago. All right, let's check it out. Here is a very rare specimen of a mummified Edmontosaurus. Here you can actually see, here is a impression, the real skin left in the mud and sand that buried the carcass. So you can imagine this hadrosaur had these scales, and you can see it a little bit closer. That had a preserved remains. And here is our hadrosaur right here. His footprints, his feet up in the air. And this hadrosaur, I tend to have a preference for hadrosaurs these days because I think about how Tennessee had our hadrosaurs. Hadrosaurs are the only specimens that have been uncovered in Tennessee. Here's an artistic representation what that hadrosaur would have looked like. And the actual specimen here is Edmontosaurus annectens. And what we know about this comes solely from fossilized bones and teeth. And this is a special one because it was a mummified. Left impressions of skin and other soft tissues in surrounding rock. It's mounted as it was found, lying on its back with the knees drawn up, the head and neck twisted backward as the tendons dried out. Areas that look like skin are just imprints. No actual skin is preserved. This was uncovered, and it looks like in the western part of the United States. Here we have the lower jaw, the teeth of a hadrosaur. Those teeth right there are of a hadrosaur, and they have a dental battery of hundreds of teeth in each jaw. These specimens display the internesting arrangement of teeth. The complete jaw shows the general position of the dental battery. A small group of individual teeth has had all the bone removed, and each tooth is outlined in white. There is that lower jaw. Here is that. It's a large hadrosaur called the Anatotitan Kopay. He's a giant duck. It's one of the largest hadrosaurs. This is the real skull of one of the largest skeletons mounted in the center of the hall, with the bottom facing you and the top against the wall. The large expansion at the front of the skull was given the group its common name, duck-billed dinosaurs. Although there's hundreds of teeth and dense batteries along the sides, the expanded bill area had no teeth. Very interesting. And this is that Anatotitan. That is the skull. Right there. Quite spectacular. Let's look at some more. This is a Prosaurolophus skull. There's another species related. This is a Prehistoric Navajovius. Look at this. The structure of this nasal cavity may have been some kind of balloon-like soft tissue structure on the front of the skull. Such structures are not preserved in fossils, so the best we can do is create illustrations as to what they may have looked like, and we can also look at living relatives and see what those functions may have provided. Contemporary ideas that crest served as a visual signal. Many living animals, from insects to lizards to mammals, use such signals to attract mates or intimidate rivals. This is incredible. Look at this. I'm trying to see if I can get a picture so you don't get as much glare. Look at those teeth. This is the skull and jaws of a Lambeosaurus lambe. It's unique in having a hollow nasal cavity expansion at the front of the skull and a solid spike at the back. So it's talking about how these two could either be different genders or different species, but they are both, or they may reflect differences in the species. There's a more prominent and longer spike on that one than there is on this one. And then we have this incredible Parasaurolophus. It's one of the most extreme nasal cavities, going all the way to the top. The nasal bones are formed in a tube that extends over the skull and doubles back to reach the throat. And this right here is broken up to show how it's hollow inside. Wow. Let's see what this is. Another beautifully well-preserved Corythosaurus. This was another discovered by Barnum Brown, Peter Kaizen, mounted as it was found. One of the middle-sized ear bones is preserved, along with paper-thin bones that surrounded the eyeballs. Here's an older rendition of what this may have looked like, because we know that structurally he probably would have had to hold that tail up. Let's see what they're talking about. Look at those paper-thin eye bones and the ear cavity. Look inside that ear cavity. See those beautifully well-preserved middle ear bones? Wow, that's amazing. So here's the top of it, and this is giving you a cross-section view of what that would look like inside. Wow. Okay, let's look over here. What have we got on this side? Another Corythosaurus. Another one. was discovered by cowboys in 1904. It took 3 weeks to uncover and undate these hadrosaurs. So here we have these incredible specimens. These are the actual bones that have been preserved. Alright, so I'm standing at 5 feet 11 inches, and that is a very tall hip bone. Now this right here, that structure, the pelvic area, that correlates to all the types of dinosaur bones that are in this area. Shows us their connection. Here's a painting by Charles Knight. Here we are on the evolutionary tree. These sauropods share a common ancestor. These are all part of the Ornithischians. Ornithischians. All of these are in this hall right here. They all share inset tooth rows. Then they all have uneven covering of enamel on teeth. They all have a jaw joint below level of their teeth. And here's ornithopods, all here. And here's where our Tennessee hadrosaurs would be. They were sweet, loving parents. Our plantain duck-billed dinosaurs. Here's our Saurolophus. All right, thanks for tuning in.